Hi, everybody. Welcome to Lunch for the Soul. I'm thrilled you're here with me. I hope you'll grab maybe a hot cup of tea. Maybe you'll grab your coffee or water, whatever it is you're drinking at this hour. Maybe you're at your desk at work. Perhaps you're cuddled up at home. This is just a few minutes for us to just sit back and be thankful and talk about faith and how it can get people through their darkest hours. If you happen to have been joining me at 9 o'clock this morning during our newscast on Fox 26 Houston, then you may have seen just a remarkable story I did on a cheerleader who is a world champion, one of the most talented young ladies I've ever seen. And she was doing something as simple as a backflip. Not simple for maybe me or I don't know you, maybe you can, I sure couldn't. But for her, I mean, she is a high flyer. She does everything. So for her, a backflip is very simple. Something went terribly wrong. She was teaching some football players how to do it. She flips over, she lands on her throat and broke her neck, and is now suffering from quadriplegia because of it. So she was supposed to join me today, but it's a tough day for her. So she wasn't able to. So stay tuned. I'm going to get her here on Lunch for the Soul. But I have a special surprise for you. I'm going to bring in a darling friend of mine. Please meet Missy Day. Hi, Misty.
Hello.
Guess what? You lived up to your name. You saved the day today to join us here. So thank you for that. And Misty has an incredible story to share. Just full closure, Misty and I met years ago when we were in a baby boot camp together. So we had young boys and we were trying to get rid of our baby fat. Let's just be honest here. And we were doing crunches together. Misty can do the meanest plank on earth. We would go run a couple of miles and should still be planking. I don't know how you do it, Misty. But anyway, that's how we met. So my son, unfortunately, was diagnosed, as a lot of you know, with leukemia in 2013. And Missy was so supportive. Missy, you were incredible during that time for me. But then out of the blue, I got a phone call from you and tell everybody what you told me.
I said, hey, I'm sitting at the hospital and Nolan's just been diagnosed with cancer.
I couldn't even believe my ears. And you were then dealing with leukemia and even more than that at the time, right?
Right. It was leukemia, and then they really didn't know what else was going on. But later on, we found out it was non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, too.
I'm going to bring up a picture here of your precious boy. And you and I know what this means. So it means that our son's got a port. So they make a little surgical incision, and it makes it so much easier for all their chemotherapy to go right here. So instead of giving an IV every time, they would get that. And look at that precious face. He is the most adorable boy ever, Misty. And we look at him through the years, and you see him there with both of our sons had this. Dr. Zoe Dreyer was our doctor. Can you even believe how she made everything so much better?
She was amazing. Amazing. Seriously, like my God sent this angel.
Need popsicles because that makes everything better. Missy, the amazing thing about you through all of this, and I know so many moms turn to you who were going through something similar, is that you pretty much, even on the hard days, would have a smile on your face. Let's talk about that faith and how you relied on a higher power to get you through a really, really dark time.
Yeah. Really, like whenever I was having hard times, I would just wake up and just pray. I was like, I've got to get through today. I'm not in control of what's going to happen, what is happening. So how can I make today better? I need Nolan and I need my family to see strength and happiness because it sucks. So lots of praying, lots of writing in my journal, reading from the journals that I had been given by friends. Really, it was a lot of praying and like just sitting in my closet on my floor and having like meditation quiet time. And I feel like that's what got me through. Like I spoke out loud to myself. I would yell sometimes, but I mean, that's what got me through. And I don't know, like I tell parents when I talk to new ones that are just diagnosed, I'm like, it's okay to cry in the shower. It's okay to go sit in your closet and yell. Go sit in your car, listen to a song that moves you. And KSBJ was huge for me. Like they would always play like the best songs when I needed it. And I just felt like God was just like, okay, hey, like you're going through this, but we're going through this together, you know?
Well, I was just taking a look at some of our viewers here, and Sarah says, prayers to you both for your strength. Thank you for that, Sarah. It's been an interesting time for both of us for sure. And Ray says, God heal both of their sons. Thank you for that. And Roy, I can tell you that both of our sons are out of treatment now, which is huge. Now, we never lose, I guess, a little bit of that fear, but we try to both have faith over fear, right? Because we have those follow-up appointments, and those are still brutal. You and I both had a crazy scare, Misty. I can't believe you and I have had such parallel lives where we thought just the past few months that our son's cancer was back. Yeah. Mine went through, Caleb had to go through an emergency bone marrow biopsy. He had to go through emergency spinal taps because they thought it was back. It turned out to be COVID. And we had no idea he had COVID. There was no sign of him having COVID. The same for you and your son. And he had to go through all kinds of scans.
He had to go through stuff. And yeah, it's absolutely crazy. And literally when you're sitting in that room and you're waiting for like the doctor to come in and you're just praying like, I can't do this again. But honestly, you can. You can if you have to. And that was where I had to keep telling myself, like, if I have to, I can. I've already done this. I got this. But like just always having that like PTSD, like, oh my gosh, this is the same track that we were on. Please, like, don't let it be. But
we can't.
I always was like, if it is, like, we already know what to do. I know how to do everything, you know. So
like Keisha says, the Lord will see you through. And there is so much truth to that. And I want to share with you all this amazing woman, Misty, and all that she does, because take a look at this photo. These amazing women have all been through what Misty and I have talked about. They're all moms of childhood cancer victims, I'm going to call them. So you came up with this amazing group called Lotus Meats. And here you've got you're doing a Lotus event. And I got to benefit from this incredible group through you. So just so you all know, everything I have, if you ever see me with a little lotus, that little flower on a necklace or earrings, I wear it often. So the lotus flower often grows. If you guys have ever been maybe to the swamps of Louisiana and you see it's so stinky and it's so gross and it's green and gooey, but there'll be a beautiful flower growing out of all the gunk. It's a lotus flower. And that's what this group is. It's this beautiful flower that grows up in the middle of this cancer diagnosis that we moms are all dealing with our children, and it makes everything better, right?
That's right. Yes. And there's 5 of us that all basically have the same journey, and we kind of just all came up with it together. And we have like our leader, her name is Angie, and we call her our cruise director, our captain. And she, you know, we got our name and we got our event going and running, and we have retreats for moms that have children with cancer.
Picture of us that are retreating.
There's some of us. Oh. Yes. So,
I tell you what, those retreats are huge. So it takes the mom out of the family element for just a weekend where you love on us and take care of us. And we do spa days and we do yoga and we journal and we scrapbook. And it is so incredibly powerful. You and I here, we're enjoying, you know, how life is a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. And you have to have faith to get you through those hard times, right?
Yes, for sure.
It is so true. Well, how receptive do you feel that new moms are coming into this when they find out about this group and they learn it's such a healing space?
I mean, I think at the beginning they're very scared, and I don't know, like I'll get a phone call just from a friend, and as soon as I start talking to like the new mom, they're just like, you're speaking everything that I've gone through. And I don't know, I feel like they're very receptive to me and asking me questions. And so I love to give back because I really don't feel I had anyone other than you. It was like you and Dr. Zoe. Like I was just you know, bleeding everything out. Like I need somebody. So that's why it was so important that Lotus happened. And when we all met and we were like, we've got to do this for all the moms. Like, I just feel like this has been an amazing thing. We have so many moms come up and say, this is what they needed. It's somebody to talk to, because when your child's fighting cancer, you have to have somebody else to talk to too.
You do. So. And it's hard because even your best friends who are there for you and will do anything for you, they still don't get it.
No.
They try to say the right things, but they don't get it.
Yes.
But when you're with those moms, I have never experienced anything that powerful before. When
Yeah.
we're sitting in our circle and we're giving our testimonies, and people here are talking about how important that is. Let's take a look at Paula. Says prayers for you both. Keep the faith. We appreciate that. We have Modesta giving us some prayer signs. Darlene is saying, "Oh, I love you, Darlene." Marcy, prayers for you both. And look at this. Paula again saying, thank you for the testimonies. It's the power of testimonies that does help somebody who's going through
Yeah.
this right now to see that you can get to the other side and that faith can make a big difference. And
For
I
sure.
was just looking at through some of your family photos, and there's so many beautiful ones, Missy. This one touches my heart so much. You're looking out at the ocean with your precious family. You have another son, and it's just as hard on the other child. And you said God's beauty. How important is it to stop for a moment and take a look at those times and really appreciate the good days and not just the hard ones?
Sorry, that picture like gets me.
I know.
That was Nolan's first time to see like the ocean, the sand. So it's like so important. I always tell my friends like, you're never promised tomorrow. So live every day, every moment. Make it amazing. And I feel like having this journey, before this journey, I was just having fun. But now I really take in like every moment. Like some of my friends are just like, oh my gosh, you go over the top for birthday parties, for Christmas, for the elf, everything that's going on. But I just am like, you really know
Mhm.
that life could be gone so
Mhm.
quick. And just sitting here staring at God's beauty, staring at the ocean, knowing that was Nolan's first time to step his little feet into the sand and to see that. Oh, it was amazing.
Oh, I love that so
So,
much. And, we talk about the tough times, and you remember how horrible it was. I can picture our kids hugging the toilet after chemotherapy or
oh,
lying on the
yes.
ground because they were too weak to get to the toilet with being
Mhm.
so nauseous and so sick from chemotherapy. But good things come out of cancer, like getting to meet people like Craig Vigio.
Yes,
I mean, a lot
yes.
of fun things come out of it. There are groups like Sunshine Kids, and there are just so many Candlelighters, Childhood Family Cancer Alliance. These groups that make our lives and for our kids so much better.
Yes, yes. Even Nolan does a toy drive. And so
Mhm.
just the kids at the hospital, I know there were 2 years that we were receiving chemo on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
On Christmas Day at the
Mhm.
hospital. So we didn't get to wake up and open the presents. It was like we got up, we had a 6 a.m. appointment, we got there, and then we would come home after like 8 hours of infusion and chemo. We would come home and then do Christmas. So they had just the toys there. People would bring in toys, and it was just so amazing that people did that, kind of like the Sunshine Kids. Like they do this for these kids because they don't get to go to the baseball games on a normal
Mhm.
day. They don't get to go to birthday parties. So all these extra things that
I know, we're both
they
tearing
get to do,
up.
I know that they get to do to feel
Good memory.
normal is amazing. So I love like
Well,
all these
the hospital
organizations that
does a
reach
good
out.
job too. So now you're looking at a photo of Purple Songs Can Fly, the most
Oh,
amazing
love them.
studio ever. Thanks to
Love
Anita
them.
Cruz at TCH. He's getting to write and sing his own song right there. How fun is
That's right.
that?
He sure is. He loves Miss Anita.
Oh, she
That
is
is
so amazing. And that
the
is a
best
neat
studio.
experience for the kiddos. Now, one thing you've done too, which I think is so amazing, is you've worked with schools to try to bring awareness. I talk to people all the time, Misty, who don't even realize that kids get cancer. For one thing, the government only funds 4% of all cancer funds go to
I know.
children, which is so frustrating. But you do what you can
That's
to make
right.
schools know about it, right? Go
That's
gold.
right. Yes. So we are so blessed with our school that in our neighborhood. And when Nolan was diagnosed, he wasn't even at that school, but my oldest was. And I remember the first year they did like a t-shirt fundraiser, and then every year they were just like, hey, do you want to
Mhm.
do you want to do something? And I was like, yes, yes, yes. And now that Nolan is there and in third grade, every year it is just bigger and better. And our neighborhood, our police officers up here can I say where I'm from?
Yes, you absolutely
Out
may.
here Fulshire. So we have Fulshire PD, and they come alongside of us. We do donuts with the officers at my house, and we actually have quite a few cancer kids that go to that school. So they all come to my house and their families, and then the officers take the kids in their cars with lights and sirens going through the car line, drop them off.
I love it.
There's teachers, and the cheerleaders were there from the junior high and high school, and they're cheering on the cancer kids as they exit the cars. And it is very moving, but it is amazing. And they make that day, actually they make that week, because it's the whole month, but they make that week all about them. And on that day of our celebration, the whole school goes gold. Like, the more gold or yellow you can wear, the better. And it is amazing to see it. It's so awesome that they let me do that.
Oh, I love it. That is huge. And I hope that other different cities will embrace these kids and listen to a story like that and follow suit of Fulshire. We take a look here at Marcy, who says her son was also diagnosed with leukemia back in 2016 at the age of 15, is now cancer free. He's 21. Oh, Marcy, that's huge. That's so huge. Happy for you. That's so awesome. And she says, go gold. Yes, we could not agree more to that. Thank you for that. It's so good to be on the other side. Now, one thing that I think, Misty, you and I have to really keep our faith is moving forward. I know you know the stats of what's to come for our kiddos. We don't know. As far as you and I have deemed that our kids are cancer-free forever, right? So we know that. The problem is what could come with side effects. Right. And we know that, unfortunately, at least 90% of kids will have some type of side effect from their chemotherapy. We don't know what it's going to be. So I think that every day I wake up and I pray. And every single day, there's not a day that I go by that I just beg for, to be that 10%, to let it be something that we can handle.
Right.
It's hard to think about. Don't you still think about that all the time of we've got to remain faithful?
Yes, all the time. And I know so many whose kids are struggling from those like side effects. And I look at Nolan and I see him like being able to, he was in gymnastics and he does lacrosse now, and he's on the swim team. And he did have, some bone degenerative from the Ben Christing. So he had to go through like a lot of physical therapy to like help that. But really, if that's all that I'm going to get right now, praise God. Because
we'll take it.
Like the more, look at
I have a photo of that last 6MP. Any cancer moms knows that term very well. Look
at that face. He is excited.
He was fired up about that precious boy. I love that photo. Oh, can you just remember back how good it felt to say that you don't have to swallow one more of those pills? I don't think people realize every journey is different, but for my son, he took chemotherapy every single day for 3.5 years. And people think that 6 months and you're done, but to go and to need the support of your bosses, I could not be more thankful for my bosses at Fox 26. It's one of the most things that I'm thankful for. I never missed chemotherapy. I never missed one hospitalization, nothing, because my boss let me put that first. It's huge. 3.5 years. And it's not that. We're almost 5 years out and I'm at the cancer center on a regular basis. I've never missed one of them because of my boss. It's unbelievable.
That's amazing. It's kind of like I'm a stay-at-home mom, but my husband, where he worked before, his boss was absolutely amazing. He never missed any of the chemo appointments, never any of the surgeries. And he was working with his laptop at the hospital. And I was just so thankful and blessed that he got to be there, because right now where there's just one parent in there, I don't even know if I could do that. Like that's hard.
A lot.
Or accessing the after surgery, the sickness, like, oh, you're so exhausted too. And you need to get food. Who's going to watch the kid? You have to call on one of the nurses, but the nurses are so busy. So, oh man, I'm so thankful that Greg got to be there too. Every time.
Thank goodness for employers and for anyone watching who might be an employer. If you can just remember to do what you can to help out your employees and know that hopefully they're more like family to you than just a colleague. As we wrap up, Misty, and I take a look at Nolan growing up now and still raising awareness about childhood cancer for anybody who's going through a tough time, especially during the holidays. It can be a tough time for you, especially if you've lost a loved one recently or if you're going through a cancer diagnosis. What would you suggest to them to get them through the hard times?
I mean, just lean on your friends and your family and really don't hold it in. Like, let
Mhm,
it out, talk to somebody, reach out to the social workers at the hospital if you can't find somebody.
mhm,
Also, look up Lotus Meats on Facebook and send
mhm,
us a friend request, because the whole page is full of cancer moms and cancer dads. We invite the whole family to our page, and
mhm.
we are here for you. So, like, I would love to speak to anyone going through this journey.
Well, you are just a powerful force in this community, Misty. Thank you for sharing the story of your precious son. He is just an amazing child. Tell Nolan we love him. We still pray for him all the time. And thanks for all you do. Thanks for making this happen today. You're a darling friend, and I'm so blessed to know you.
Oh, I feel the same. I love you.
All right, you take care. And thank you all for joining us. I hope you'll join us every Wednesday right here for a little good juju, some lunch for the soul. Bless every one of you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.